Oh yeah!
Welcome back to my corner of the internet, Macho Maniacs. My name is Lucas, aka Macho Emolga. Welcome to the Week 1 press conference for the Seattle Seadots versus the Anaheim Golducks. I'm very proud to see all of you here in attendance. Makes me feel really proud as the coach of this team that the media has taken such an interest in us, and it really makes going to work every day a little bit easier. Anyway, this week we're going up against the Anaheim Golducks, coached by Tornado 300. We have scrimmaged off against them in the past, but this will be the first time that it ever really counts for anything. Anyway, the Golducks roster is Mega Venusaur for the Mega, Tyranitar and Latios for the 2 OU Pokemon, and the remaining being Goodra, Cresselia, Gallade, Eelektross, Ambipom, Gastrodon, Drapion, and Carbink. I have seen this man's strategies before. I have scrimmaged off against him. I do believe that our team does not match up super favorably against some of their major threats. Ambipom gives us some serious problems with that Technician fake out. Gastrodon could be potentially a really big issue to deal with. Tyranitar deals with a lot of our team. And Latios could have a Scarf and be very hard to deal with. But basically, for this week, we have a strategy. We have something. We've established that there is a way that we can get around this. We've been in the lab doing a lot of work, doing a lot of strategy and planning, my assistant coach, Little Macho, and I. And we believe that we have devised a strategy that will be able to break down the bulky offense that this man possesses, primarily Goodra, Cresselia, and Mega Venusaur. Those three together can be extremely bulky and bothersome to deal with. Cresselia with Moonlight, Venusaur with Synthesis, Goodra, possibly a Rest Sleep Talk set. It could be very troublesome to get around those mons if he does bring them, and so we're trying to devise a strategy that will best be able to accommodate that. So getting right into the strategy for this week, the first Pokemon we're going to be bringing is Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados, pretty much a staple of our team at this point. Water Dark typing hits a lot of things very well. Yes, Mega Venusaur is a pretty good counter to Mega Gyarados, as Mega Gyarados' only move that it gets that can hit Venusaur super effectively is Ice Fang, but once it Mega Evolves, it gets that thick fat ability, making Ice Fang not nearly as effective. Anyway, we will be running the Adamant Max Attack, Max Speed, 4 HP Mega Gyarados this week with Waterfall, Crunch, Ice Fang, and D-Dance. The Waterfall is there to hit a lot of targets neutrally. The Crunch is there almost exclusively for Cresselia. It's Oko at +2 attack. If he is max defense, max HP. It is like an 80% roll to be a one-hit KO with Crunch at +2, which is why we need to be able to set up to that point. Next up, we have Ice Fang, essentially for Goodra and Latios. I know that Choice Scarf Latios will still outspeed us at +1, which is once again why it's vital to get to +2 this week with Gyarados. If we're going to be setting up, we need to be able to make sure we can set up to +2 before we do anything else. Anyway, Dragon Dance there at the final move slot for setup. Next up we have Jirachi, our team captain, and really an overall really solid poke to bring this week. Pretty much, I like the move coverage that it gets for dealing with Tornado's team. Primarily, the main staple move is going to be Zen Headbutt, because with the investment that I am running on Jirachi, it is near an Oko. So as long as Mega Venusaur does not come in on us at full HP, Jirachi should be able to deal with it. Anyway, we're running a move coverage kind of set to deal with the things that Mega Gyarados will not be able to deal with, and it's mainly a Mega Venusaur check for this week. Our item is Mind Plate because we don't want to be taking Life Orb damage, and really our main move this week is Zen Headbutt, which is why we want the Mind Plate to increase that damage. It's essentially just a miniature Life Orb solely for Psychic type attacks. We're running Max Attack, 220 into speed, which should be able to outspeed Choice Scarf T-Tar as long as he's not a positive nature with max speed and Choice Scarf. And then 36 EVs in the HP to add a little bit of bulk. Zen Headbutt is going to be our move of choice this week. It deals with a lot of his team. And then we have Drain Punch. My presumption is that when I bring in Jirachi on Mega Venusaur, he's going to switch into T-Tar afterwards. So I have the ability to predict that, and Drain Punch for ×4 effective damage. It should mirror Oko. Then we have Iron Head for flinches and stab and substitute. Basically, the way I'm hoping substitute works this week is that I'm able to bring in Jirachi on something that can't do really anything to it, namely Mega Venusaur or Cresselia, and then throw up a sub on the switch out to T-Tar or to something else, and pretty much go from there. I'm hoping it works out that way. I'm not sure if it will, but that's basically the plan for Jirachi. Next up, in our third slot, we have Thundurus. Thundurus is just an overall really solid poke to bring this week. It gets really good move coverage for a couple of the things that we need to hit hard. It's going to be a modest nature with max special attack, max speed, 4 HP, and Life Orb. Basically, it's going to be in the back as our backup sweeper, as it's going to be rocking the Nasty Plot. Prankster Nasty Plot. It gives initiative on the setup, which I really like. The 3 attacking moves are going to be Thunderbolt for neutral coverage on a lot of things, HP Ice once again for Latios, and Goodra, which we can't really touch if we don't bring it, and then Psychic for the Mega Venusaur, which we can't really touch if we don't bring it. Pretty much Tyranitar could be a hard check to this thing, so we will need to make sure that if we're going to bring Thundurus into sweep, T-Tar needs to be out of the way. Then we have our Ambipom and secondary T-Tar, really the primary T-Tar check and Ambipom check this week, which is going to be Choice Scarf Hariyama with the Thick Fat ability. Basically, I realized that my team is a little bit weak to Ice, sporting 3 ice weaknesses this week as well as 2 fire weaknesses. So Hariyama with Thick Fat is a little bit more bulky against those types of attacks. I can bring it in on something. For example, Goodra likes to carry Flamethrower, Electros likes to carry Flamethrower, so I know that this thing could be a possible switch out if those things want to try to use that on Jirachi. I'm running the max speed, Jolly Nature, Choice Scarf. Even that, I don't believe outspeeds Ambipom, but we need to at least be able to outspeed a lot of things. So I really like slow Choice Scarfers. Hariyama's base speed is around 50. No one ever really expects them. A lot of people see Hariyama, they're going to be expecting like Priority, could be expecting something like Assault Vest with double Priority and Fake Out and Bullet Punch. So pretty much my idea there is to be able to possibly bluff that against Ambipom. He could be running, Ambipom could be running he could be running max speed and adamant nature, in which case we will outspeed, but if he's running max speed and a jolly nature, I do believe we still get outsped. Anyway, the moveset is Close Combat, Knockoff, Earthquake, and Iron Head. Close Combat's good coverage, Knockoff is there to hit Cresselia, Earthquake is there, and Iron Head is there for just generally kind of coverage on things if we need to take the middle ground at some point, if we're trying to get a little too cute with our predictions. Then we get into our wall core. Our wall number 1 and our physical wall is Mandibuzz. Coming over from free agency, Mandibuzz and Hariyama are both making their PBL debuts for the Seattle Seadots this week, as we got Mandibuzz from Colton and the Omaha Omastars, and we got Hariyama off of free agency after releasing Regice. Anyway, ability for Mandibuzz is Overcoat, rocking the Impish Nature, physical wall set with leftovers, max HP, 200 defense, 56 special defense. Mandibuzz is very bulky, so I figure I can use the special defense EVs, which is essentially there for Thunderbolt from Goodra. I know that with that investment in special defense, I can take Thunderbolts from Goodra if it's like... I've seen... One of my favorite sets to run with Goodra is Expert Belt with Dragon Pulse, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, and I believe Ice Beam. So I like to run that, and therefore my mind just kind of prepares for it when I see it. So I am prepared for that. Otherwise, Mandibuzz could take a lot of damage from Goodra. Only attacking move is Knockoff. The rest of the set is Roost, Defog, Tailwind. I did bring on Mandibuzz to be our Defogger, and I know that Tyranitar will probably come in and be a Stealth Rock setter, which is why I want to be able to get rid of it. Tailwind is there because I think that it's something that a lot of people don't expect to see in singles is Tailwind, but it will double our speed, which gives Hariyama the ability to outspeed that Ambipom all the time, which is super awesome for us. And as well, Roost to get recovery. Tailwind is also the reason I'm running Modest instead of Timid on my setup sweeping Thundurus. I'm hoping the plan is to get up Tailwind and then sweep with Thundurus if sweeping Dragon Dance with Gyarados doesn't work this week. And the way his team is lined up, it looks like Gyarados will probably have some problems sweeping with a lot of his bulky offense, but we're going to still bring it this week because it's good type coverage on a lot of things. Anyway, in the 6th slot we have Amoonguss, our special wall and the final member of this team. He does have both special attacks and physical attacks, so we're running the Sassy Nature, which is special defense up, speed down. We don't need a lot of speed. Amoonguss is base 30 speed as it is, and it is not there to take advantage of Tailwind, so we don't need to worry about running the speed down nature. Black Sludge for recovery, max HP, max special defense, 4 attack. Basically, I'm running Giga Drain, obviously, for stab and recovery, but as well, I'm running Foul Play on my Amoonguss, and that is because, basically, I'm really scared of Latios. I figure he's going to expect Latios to be a switch into this thing, as it takes Giga Drains very well, and it can then fire off Psychic or Psyshock, whatever it's carrying. So I believe that if he brings Latios, I'll be able to bring in Amoonguss and then predict a switch out to Latios and go for Foul Play on it, which even at no investment will do around 75% and cripple that thing, which is hopefully my plan. I'm also rocking Spore and Synthesis. Spore to hopefully deal a little bit better with Cresselia. Basically, I want to be able to put that thing to sleep so that it's not as big of a problem, or maybe put to sleep Ambipom or something, one of his really offensive Pokemon, and then Synthesis is there for recovery. Big things we have weaknesses against this week are Ice and Fairy. Half our Mons are weak to Ice and half our Mons are weak to Fairy, but the thing is, his only Fairy type is Carbink, and I'm not super worried about the thing as an offensive threat, pretty much because I have Jirachi. And also, we're really weak to Ice, but at the same time, I don't see anything that carries Ice-type moves, stereotypically, except for Goodra carrying Ice Beam. I don't know if Ambipom gets Ice Punch, I don't believe it does. Gastrodon could get Ice Beam, I don't think it's not a standard set, and to bring Ice Beam, he'd have to knock off something else, like Scald or Recover or something like that. So I'm not super worried about being weak to those two typings. But that is the team, that's the rundown. I believe that we have a really good strategy this week. I believe that we'll be able to take advantage. My biggest concern is T-Tar, essentially. Tyranitar, Mandibuzz is my only defogger to get rid of rocks, and Tyranitar can really do a whole lot of damage, even with me, Mandibuzz being my physical wall with Stone Edge. So I am worried about the T-Tar. That's why I have Hariyama rocking Close Combat and Choice Scarf. That's why I have Jirachi with the Drain Punch, because T-Tar this week terrifies me. Maybe he is looking at my team and knows T-Tar terrifies me, so he'll bring a lot of things to check my T-Tar checks and then not bring T-Tar, which I am worried about, but you know, you can't plan for everything in a league like this. You have to follow your gut, and my gut is telling me that this is the right team to bring. We'll see how it works out. Video goes up tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. Basically, hope to see you guys out there to support the Seattle Seadots in the very first regular season match of the PBL. My name is Lucas, aka Macho Emolga. I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday.
Oh yeah!